Welcome to Eternal Philosophies. Picture yourself standing on a windswept peak, clouds swirling below, as the very forces of nature gather to debate the fate of humanity. Welcome to the realm of the 12 Olympians. In today's video, we'll explore what the 12 Olympians represent and introduce you to all of them. Then we'll visit Mount Olympus, their divine home. From there, we'll pay tribute to some honorable mentions, powerful deities who, while not dwelling on Olympus, wield tremendous influence over mortal and divine affairs alike. Finally, we'll dive deep into each of the 12 Olympians, uncovering their most captivating myths and legendary stories. The 12 Olympians embody the fundamental powers that shaped the ancient Greek world: sky and thunder, marriage and loyalty, the restless sea, the endless cycle of growth and harvest, wisdom tempered by strategy, the healing balm of music and prophecy, the wild freedom of moonlit forests, the fierce tumult of battle, the intoxicating pull of beauty and desire, the primal spark of fire that forges and destroys, the swift currents of commerce and travel, and the ecstatic release of wine and revelry. These gods personify both the elemental forces of nature and the most profound aspects of human experience. Together, they form a pantheon whose dramas and rivalries mirror our own struggles for power, love, and purpose. At the top of Mount Olympus, they dine on ambrosia and nectar, their divine feasts punctuated by laughter and the echo of clashing wills. Their names are Zeus, king of the gods, wielder of thunder and sky; Hera, queen of the gods, protector of marriage and family; Poseidon, god of the sea, storms, earthquakes, and horses; Demeter, goddess of agriculture and the harvest; Athena, goddess of wisdom, war strategy, and crafts; Apollo, god of music, prophecy, healing, and the sun; Artemis, goddess of the hunt, wilderness, and the moon; Ares, god of war and violence; Aphrodite, goddess of love, beauty, and desire; Hephaestus, god of fire, forging, and craftsman; Hermes, messenger of the gods, guide of souls, god of commerce; Dionysus, god of wine, ecstasy, and theater. Mount Olympus, home of the gods. Rising nearly 3 kilometers into the heavens between Thessaly and Macedonia, Mount Olympus is no mere mountain. It is a living threshold between the mortal and the divine. Its sunlit ridges and hidden valleys host palaces carved from ivory and gold, where eternal spring reigns and storms cannot breach. Here the gods convene upon shimmering thrones, the air perfumed by ambrosial aromas, and the most momentous decisions that touch every human life echo through gilded halls. Before we do a deep dive into the 12 gods of Mount Olympus, we will make an honorable mention of important gods who are not part of Mount Olympus. Honorable mentions: other gods of influence. Beyond those who claim Olympus, there exist deities whose sway is no less profound. Among the most compelling is Hades, lord of the underworld, whose silent realm of shadows and hidden riches holds the ultimate balance between life and death, and whose marriage to Persephone weaves the thread of seasons through the world above. Persephone herself stands at the crossroads of birth and decay, her annual ascent heralding spring's bloom, her descent casting winter's hush. Other mighty figures touch our lives in subtler ways. Hecate guides wanderers through crossroads and shadowy rites. Eros ignites the spark of attraction that binds hearts. Asclepius tends wounds with miraculous hands. Helios drives his solar chariot across the sky each morning. Selene bathes the night in lunar glow. Nyx weaves the blanket of night. Iris paints the heavens with rainbow light. And a host of others, from the vengeful Nemesis to the dream-shaping Morpheus, shape fate from beyond mortal sight. Deep dive in the 12 Olympians. Zeus reigns supreme as the thunder-wreathed monarch of gods and mortals alike. His presence is heralded by gathering storm clouds and crackling lightning, and his voice can command the very winds. In visual depictions, he sits upon a grand throne, lightning bolt in hand, ever vigilant in upholding cosmic justice. His most celebrated myth, the Titanomachy, tells how Zeus led his siblings in a decade-long war against the elder Titans. With cunning strategy and raw power, he shattered their thrones and cast them into Tartarus, thus establishing the reign of Olympian order. Later, his numerous romances, epic loves and betrayals, illustrate the complex interplay of power and passion in divine affairs. Hera stands as the unyielding guardian of vows and kinship. Regal and imposing, she is often depicted with peacock feathers in her crown, symbolizing her all-seeing watchfulness. As the protector of marriage, she commands reverence and fear in equal measure. Her most famous myth revolves around a relentless pursuit of Zeus's numerous lovers. In one tale, she transforms the nymph Io into a cow and sets a hundred-eyed Argus to watch over her, only for Hermes to lull Argus to sleep and slay him. This story highlights Hera's fierce devotion to marital sanctity and her indomitable will. Poseidon, dark-bearded and sea-sprayed, commands the tides with his mighty trident. His domain includes not only the oceans but also earthquakes, Earthshaker, and even horses, creatures he is said to have created from sea foam. In the contest for patronage of Athens, Poseidon struck the Acropolis rock and produced a saltwater spring, but his gift was deemed less valuable than Athena's olive tree, costing him the city's favor. This myth underscores his tempestuous nature and the unpredictable might of the sea. Demeter moves through fields of golden grain, her gentle touch coaxing fertility from the soil. Often portrayed clutching a sheaf of wheat, she embodies the nurturing rhythm of agriculture. When her daughter Persephone is abducted by Hades, Demeter's grief is so profound that she neglects her duties, sending the world into famine. Only when a compromise allows Persephone's seasonal return does spring resume, thus explaining the cycle of growth and decay. Athena emerges fully armed from Zeus's brow, her birth a testament to the power of the mind. Clad in armor and bearing her aegis, she embodies strategic warfare and creative arts in equal measure. Her gift of the olive tree to the Athenians in the contest against Poseidon signifies peace and prosperity, and her guidance of heroes such as Odysseus at Troy cements her role as patroness of wisdom and craftsmanship. Apollo strides forth in radiant chiton, lyre in hand, his voice as clear as sunlight. As god of music, prophecy, and healing, he bridges art and divination, bringing both solace and revelation. At Delphi, his oracle delivers cryptic pronouncements that shape the destiny of city-states. In one myth, he punishes the python serpent and establishes his Pythian Games, an enduring celebration of athletic and artistic excellence. Artemis slips through moonlit woods, bow-strung taut and quiver gleaming. Protector of childbirth and wild creatures, she reflects both nurturing grace and fierce independence. In the tale of Actaeon, she transforms the hunter into a stag for witnessing her bath, demonstrating her intolerance of disrespect and her power to blur the line between hunter and prey. Ares bursts into the fray with no regard for mercy, helmet gleaming and spear awash in battle's red. He revels in conflict's chaos, representing war's raw fury rather than its strategic aspects. During the Trojan War, he fights alongside the Trojans until Hera and Athena intervene to humiliate him, illustrating both his prowess and the contempt even gods may hold for unchecked violence. Aphrodite glides upon scents of rose and myrrh, her gaze kindling desire in gods and mortals alike. Born from sea foam, she wields love's power to unite and to destroy. Her role in the judgment of Paris, where she promises Helen's love to the Trojan prince, directly sparks the Trojan War, revealing how beauty can ignite epic conflict. Hephaestus labors in molten forges, hammer in hand and sparks flying. Though cast from Olympus for his imperfection, he transformed suffering into creation, crafting divine weapons and automata. His masterpiece, the armor of Achilles, forged for the hero in the Iliad, exemplifies his unmatched skill and the beauty that emerges from adversity. Hermes darts between worlds on winged sandals, caduceus in hand, a grin of mischief never far from his lips. As messenger and trickster, he bridges gods and mortals. In his infancy, he steals Apollo's cattle and invents the lyre, then placates Apollo with his invention, showcasing both his cunning and his gift for invention. Dionysus emerges last, vine-crowned and laughter-bright, holding aloft his thyrsus. Twice born, he embodies both the joyous abandon of wine and the terror it can inspire. His journey to rescue his mother Semele from the underworld, and the ecstatic rites of his Bacchic followers, reveal how liberation and madness walk hand in hand in his worship. These 12 divine archetypes are more than mythical figures. They're mirrors of our deepest desires, fears, and potentials. The Greeks understood something profound. Divine stories are ultimately human stories, and the gods they worshipped reflected the timeless forces that drive us. From Hercules' strength and Athena's wisdom to Apollo's creativity and Aphrodite's passion, these immortal patterns continue to shape our ambitions, challenges, and dreams across the ages. Have you enjoyed this journey? Give us a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to Eternal Philosophies to join us next time.